What's going on, guys? Seth here with Seth Francis Sim Racing, and we are back in Gran Turismo Sport. Getting set up now for a Gr.3 class race at Dragon Trail. Going to be driving the McLaren 650S, I believe this is. Make sure the sound's off on my laptop here, just so I can see the chats or the chat. And yeah. Should be on our way momentarily. Looks like I'm going to be starting out in 9th position with a 1:43.457 qualifying time from yesterday. Not terrible. We got a few other 650S GT3s in here, as well as a AMG GT3 in pole position for qualifying. We've got a good amount of American flags, Canadian flags, and I believe that is a Brazilian flag, if I'm not mistaken. And a minute and 44 to warm up, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage. I apologize if there's some background noise. I have my windows open in the room that I sim race in, and it's raining a bit. Gets too hot if I leave the window open. Ooh, I did not have my foot on the brake pedal. It was on the clutch. I went to push and nothing happened because half my foot was on the clutch, and the clutch is a lot harder to push on this pedal set. I don't remember if I liked the way this car handled with this setup yesterday, so have to just kind of play it by ear, see how it goes. Play it by feel, should I say. So far it's not horrible. It's also not perfect. Don't go solid. Buddy, really? Didn't mean to hit that second Mercedes, but I did mean to hit that first guy for going solid right before we were about to make contact. Unfortunately, somebody else got kind of caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Whoa! Did not make that corner. Take a look at some of the names in this race here. See what I recognize. I can already tell a miracle. That person just might be a problem with a name like that. We'll see, though. We shall see. Alright, here we are on grid. Just about to get underway here at Dragon Trail for the Gr.3 class race of the night. The first Gr.3 class race of the night. Actually, today is Saturday, so there were 3 races earlier. The first for me, I should say. And we are off. Could have gotten a bit of a better launch there, not much traction. That Audi launches incredibly well. The Audi R8 LMS car. It just launches amazingly. Really? That was that guy right there in that Mercedes. That was Zoshi 4014 or whatever his name is. Oh, I am catching up with him. Giving him a piece of my mind. This BMW hasn't done anything bad to me yet. We're just kind of ghosting through each other a little bit. But I do want to catch up with that Zoshi 14 guy real bad. Because I got a little fishtaily, a little squirrely coming out of the second corner there. And he tried to take advantage of that to just keep pushing me around, trying to spin me out. Pretty sure it was Zizoshki or it was the other Mercedes right next to him. but I'm pretty darn sure it was the Zizoshki guy. Alright, so there's the other Mercedes. Got launch control in front of me, that's a cool name. Certainly a topical name. Little too much understeer through the corners on this, not quite as much grip as the Audi R8. R8, it's an R8 LMS car. Don't want to be too wide through this corner. I don't like taking this corner too wide, but I guess I had to. Ghosted. Man, it's a love-hate relationship with the ghosting in this game. Sometimes it does me a favor, but sometimes it just works totally against you. Ideally, I would like to have no ghosting, because then you don't expect it to happen, you don't have to expect it, you just know you're not going to ghost no matter what. So you behave differently on the track. Man, getting squirrely. That Zizoshi 14 guy is a couple of spaces ahead there. Ferrari off track. Coming into turn one, and brake hard, brake hard. Nobody behind me, a miracle in front. Go. Oh, hanging these corners tight as I can. I think I could use, or I could benefit from just a bit of a gearing adjustment. Either way, in the next race I'm going to give the Audi a try again. I really like that car. Oh, that was a close one there, man. I thought I was going to slide outside into him and get caught up, but made it around him. Still got Zizoshi up ahead there in that Mercedes. Doesn't look like I'll be able to catch up with him before the end of the race, unless, you know, barring some sort of mistake on his end. Steal a sip of my water on the straight there, and brake hard, hard. Off the brake, through the corner, through the little S. A little sideways correct, and we're good. And through the right-hand sweeper, just a little off the throttle, and brake, brake, brake. Turn in slowly on the throttle. Little brake, off the brake, throttle. Yeah, Tuk Tuk's got a good gap. Doesn't look like I'll be catching him this race. That's alright, there's always next race. Or not Tuk Tuk, Zizoshi 14. I was just talking to somebody named Tuk Tuk in the chat. I am an idiot. Oh, Zizoshi 14, you have made a mistake! Oh man, your demise is my rise. Thank you so much for that. That's karma right there. He was all dirty at the beginning of the race, slamming into me, trying to spin my car out when I was fishtailing. And then, what's he do? Completely spins out on the last lap, yields the position right back to myself. That, my friends, is karma. So, started out in 9th, ended in 4th. And, against better judgment, which better judgment is telling me since I've already put down a race in this car, I might as well use this car again. However, I'm going to switch it up to the Audi. Just might as well get a couple different cars in. So that race will be starting momentarily. Obviously, I'm just going to leave the stream going. Gotta sit through this menu. This menu always takes a little longer than I would like, but what are you gonna do? Alright. Welcome, whoever has joined since the start. And let's go sign up for the following race. And we're going to go ahead and switch to the Audi. Whoops. And just a minute while the screen loads up. And while that's happening, I am going to open this other window because it is getting hot in this room. There we go. Now I got a window open on both sides, get a nice little draft coming across the room. Alright, so we've got 6 minutes or so to practice. I'm going to go ahead and do that. One thing I like about this car is it's just got brutal acceleration. It's quick, that's for sure. It can brake late too, which is nice. Later than the McLaren anyways. But I have to say, and I don't know if it has to do with cornering or what, but the McLarens tend to outpace the Audi, at least on this track. That's been my experience. Perhaps the McLarens are better in the handling department. I also like how there's like a bit of controlled chaos with this car. It can really slide out on you but it's not terribly hard to catch. See, like there, I was able to punch it in second gear. It slid all the way out, but I didn't have to let off the gas. I just kept the throttle down and adjusted my steering accordingly. Ooh, a little too out wide there. Still sliding, come on. There we go. Shifted the weight a little too hard through that corner as I drive into the wall there. So, that means I should probably check out what my sway bar settings are, because, and also perhaps my dampening extension. So my lap time was way worse than what my actual qualifying time was, so let's see what we have currently. Could always raise that in the rear. Could also adjust dampening for the rear. My only fear is that this adjustment will make the back end far more loose. Not far more, but a good bit more loose. Although I could give just a bit more downforce. Let's try this and see what happens. What's the worst I could do? I'll go through that same chicane again and see what the result is. Sweeper here. I'm about neck and neck with my Ghost at the moment. So far it's doing pretty good. Still a bit squirrely, but the added bit of downforce in the rear definitely seems to be making a difference. Not bad. Gonna get a penalty there, yep. Oh, and I was able to smooth that penalty right off. I'm still gonna be not beating my previous time, which was I think a 143 and change. I don't remember what the last three digits were, but I know it was a 143 something. Doesn't look like I'll be beating that. Let's try and brake too late here. Right at the bumper. Wow. Oh. Got a little screwed up when I hit the curb there. Good thing it's just practice. I'll have to see what a 143.261 gets me for qualifying position. Only got about 30 seconds left before they start matching us. Of course, that process in itself takes a few minutes. A little sideways there. This car definitely doesn't like to be disturbed too much by curves. Let's go over these ones. Yeah, it bounces around a lot, but I don't want to sacrifice my suspension setup by adjusting the dampening to allow the car to absorb those curbs better, because it will hinder some of the characteristics of the handling that I would like to remain. So I'm just going to leave it as is, as far as the stiffness of the suspension goes, I should say. Just wait for it to match us up here. Just waiting for this to match us up here so I can see what position I will be starting in. I'm guessing I'll be right around mid-pack again. 8th or 9th place, I would guess. 7th, not bad. That'll do. And let's see who else is in this race. Gang member. Wow. You are cool, my friend. With a name like Gang Member, he must be. OPG4, we got Gash Basher, Arizona Climbing, we got me, we got JC Bautista, I think that's that. I think there's a wrestler guy named Bautista. I'm not sure. The Tank 1212, we got Willow 28, Bissy Zatch, CNBR, XX Parker XX420, Silent Leprechaun, GUI 200704 Joie, or Wa, whatever, and a Miracle, once again. He was in the last race too. He wasn't dirty or anything though, he actually was pretty respectful on the track. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave everything set just as it is. Go ahead and give it a little test. Once again. Come on, let's go. There you go. I'm using a wheel. I'm actually, if you look through my past videos, you'll see I did a modification that allows me to use any wheel I want on PS4. Literally, you can use any wheel you want that works on PC on the PS4 with full force feedback. So I'm using a direct drive wheel, like a full servo motor wheel. The one I'm using is a Simuku based setup with a MIG motor. So it's a really powerful wheel, 20 Newton meters, which is, you know, a good 4 or 5 times as powerful as a standard consumer wheel. I don't run with it turned up though, I have it turned down. So I am using a wheel. It definitely tires you out after a while. The force feedback in Gran Turismo is amazing. And we're about to grid up here. But yeah, so to answer your question simply, I am using a wheel. Alright. Wish me luck. Ooh, I do like the way this car grips up and goes. It just, off the line, it just accelerates like a beast. This Audi is... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Brake, brake, brake. Don't want to cause an accident here, and don't want to be the victim of one either. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm getting hit from behind, too. I can't help it. I just got spun out completely there. Somebody was pushing myself right into that McLaren. That is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, in true Gran Turismo fashion, not one person in an online race can make it through turn 1, and now in my haste I accidentally rear-end OPG4. The mess has begun already, not even one lap in. Not even one measly lap in this 4-lap race. That's okay. I'll just push through, see what spots I can pick off before the end. Man, that is frustrating though. Right on the first second corner turn there, where those first 2 corners are. Everybody piles up. I try and stay inside on the first one, give everybody plenty of space. I end up getting somebody working up inside of me on the next corner, not giving me any space, and actually running into me, pushing me up into the McLaren, and then we both spin out. Unbelievable. Yet quite believable, given that it's a Gran Turismo title, and until the game is released and there's actual players that can host races, that's how it's going to be, because these races are hosted by the server. So whoever gets thrown into a room gets thrown into a match gets thrown into a match. When the official game is released, there will be people creating rooms, and you'll know which ones are dirty and which ones are clean. You know, people will host dirty races, they'll host clean races. So that way you at least have it. Really, dude? Really? Alright, I'm coming for you now. Gr.3 and he's hitting that person too. See, I try and drive clean, but I don't like when people like that are dirty on purpose. Or he's gonna mess himself up, apparently. Idiot. I'll be watching for him too, because I know he's gonna try and do something else to me in this race. They always do. Because they're dirty like that. Where is he? Off in the grass, where he belongs. Man. I signed up, and I got an email back in, I believe it was April, if I'm not mistaken. At the end of April, I signed up, and I got a thing in my email basically saying that they had accepted my PSN account into the beta. There's still sign-ups available too, as last I knew anyways, there was. This poor guy got a little sideways. And off the track. Yeah, a lot of people have signed up multiple times and haven't gotten picked. I used to think that they just pick at random, but I'm wondering if maybe they look at the history and see, like, have you played a lot of GT6 and GT5? Because what I've been trying to determine is if they just pick randomly, or if they look and they're like, oh, okay, this guy played a lot of GT6 and GT5, so let's give it to him. I've played a lot of GT6 and GT5, but again, I have no clue if that has anything to do... Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Couldn't stop fast enough. I've played a lot of... Yeah, see, that makes me think perhaps they do look at what you have, you know, what your history is with the title. Or with the series, I should say. Oh, I'm getting bumped back by this guy, and I deserve it, because I bumped him first. Dude, that was not called for. That was not called for at all. Just completely spin me off into the grass like that. What was his name? That was... I'm not sure which guy that was. That is so frustrating. Just completely, and without regard, spun me right off into the grass at, like, the most vulnerable point of a corner. These weekend races, I tell you, a lot of the weekend races have been really bad, just full of idiots who don't even play the game regularly. They just want to jump in on the weekend, don't contribute anything to the development of the game, just want to jump in a race and be a complete moron. And just spin people out, slam into people for no reason. Ooh, him and I both went off the track there. It's because I'm getting kind of pissed off at this race, to be honest. Try signing up with the other account and see if anything happens. I am going to be looking for those, that Gr.3 guy. I'm definitely going to be looking for him in the next race. As well as, I think it's Ajad, or whatever that stupid name is that guy has. Dirty, dirty drivers. The Gran Turismo way. We got Ijad making a mistake there. Maybe Bissy Zatch will take care of him. And that's all. Finishing in 12th place. Terrible race. Completely disappointing. Absolutely miserable. Worst feeling ever. This race sucked. I don't have Plus either. I don't even use Plus for this. Yeah, that guy was a D-bag, dude. Straight up. Yeah, I was surprised too, because when I got the email, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to pay for PS Plus, because I don't really play PS4, I'm always on the PC. But no, I didn't have to. I was able to do it without a PS Plus account. Yeah, I play pretty regularly GT Sport ever since I got the beta. But yeah, no, thank you. I love to see when people sub, and you know, it's fun to do the races, and not a whole lot of people do like live streaming. For some people do, but not a whole lot do live streaming of this game, you know, and because I'll like answer questions about the game, whatever. It's just fun to me, you know. But cool, thank you very much. I'm going to use the same car once again. This is the final race of the night we're getting into. Yeah, I don't know why. I think, I mean, a lot of it has to do with a lot of people probably only want to put up videos where, you know, they do well in the race or whatever. I don't really care. You know, I'm not going into every race trying to get first place. A lot of times I don't even qualify. To me, it's just fun, and the main reason that I play and stream is to talk about the game and the physics and the force feedback, so people know what to expect. What's this DE mean? I'm probably gonna feel really stupid in a second for not knowing, but so I'm gonna leave the car set up just as it is. Here. Oh man, so you've been waiting a long time. Hey, I mean, at least all isn't lost. I think they give you some extra content for pre-ordering, but You know, I think it'll be worth it for Gran Turismo fans that are looking for quality over quantity. Because while there aren't a whole bunch of unlicensed cars, or not unlicensed, but unfinished cars, you know, like GT6 has well over 1,000 cars, but some of them don't have interiors, they aren't, you know, they aren't all detailed to perfection. GT Sport isn't going to have that many cars, as many as GT6. I think there's, I don't know, like 150 or 60 so far slotted for the game, maybe a little less. I don't remember, to be quite honest, but it's a lower number of cars, but they're all going to be modeled fully with full cockpits and everything detailed. And I also noticed that some of the other aspects of the game, like there's more attention paid towards physics, particularly with the wheel. I've only played a little bit with the gamepad, so I can't speak too much on that side, but they've made this game to feel like a Gran Turismo Sport, or feel like a past Gran Turismo title, but the handling, the force feedback, the way the cars respond to weight and suspension adjustments, everything is more polished. The handling is much more detailed. You can feel more of what the car is doing. You can feel more effects, essentially, that allow you to catch a slide or regain traction or not go out of control. As far as things like weight transfer goes, the cars don't just spin around extremely quickly like they used to in GT6. Like GT6, coming out of a corner, you get a little too much on the gas, all of a sudden you're facing the other way. And it's not like that in GT Sport. The cars actually have weight. They'll slowly start to slide out. Of course, in certain situations, you hit the gas too hard, it's going to whip around quickly. But 9 times out of 10, the car will kick out like it would in real life, and you can catch it, you know, in a more gradual fashion. And the same goes for suspension load and the way that the car reacts to gravity, essentially, as you're going over bumps, or if you're like going downhill and straight into an uphill section. When you go through that little valley, basically through the curvature of going from downhill to uphill, like if you're in a real car and you go through a dip like that, you basically go through the lower section of a wave, down and up. You feel yourself get pushed down into the seat of the car. And in Gran Turismo Sport, particularly if you're driving with a wheel, you feel the wheel weight up and you feel all the bumps get exaggerated as you go through, you know, like a downhill to an uphill section. And the same goes if you come up over a crest. You feel the wheel lighten up and you'll skip across the bumps. But everything is more polished. Let me see here. I'll read your comment in just a second. Almost lost it there. I'll read your comment in just a second, Daniel. I just want to round off this lap. Don't think I'm gonna beat my original qualifying time, not the one you see there, my original. No, I'm not. It was a 1:43.2. Alright, let me pause this. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, that's another reason why I'm wondering if they pay attention or if they just pick randomly, because I know people like you have played a ton and still not gotten a email. Yeah, I definitely prefer the quality over quantity notion or thought myself, because I didn't drive all the cars in GT6, and after a while so many of them just felt the same. In this car, every car feels different force feedback effects, different handling characteristics, setups make a bigger difference than they did in GT6. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I only just started recently, so it's kind of to be expected. Most of the subs I've gotten so far are actually when I've done like the hardware mod videos, like when I did the video showing my direct drive wheel working with GT Sport, and then I did another video that showing any Fanatic rim working plug and play with my direct drive motor. Like, it'll just plug right on, right out of the box with the stock quick release, and it'll work electronically and everything. So the hardware videos got me a lot of, you know, initial subs, and I'll pick up a couple here and there as I do the videos. Yeah, they do, and that's the new sign up that asks those questions. The original sign up that I did back in April, literally all you didn't enter in any text other than your PSN and your email, and I think your name. That's literally all you would put in. The new sign up has much more information you can enter. I know, it doesn't make sense that so many people aren't getting in, and that's why I think they might have just randomly picked, and I just got lucky, even though I had a lot of history in GT6 and a decent amount in GT5. I think it just, I might have just gotten lucky, you know? In fact, let me do something here while I am on the stream. I'm going to go check my other email, because I signed up with another account just for giggles. I want to see if they selected that email, because I have two PSN accounts, so I signed up with the other. Let's go to mail here. Sign in. See if I have a notice from them. Not interested in that. Nope. Nope, nothing from them. So, that's what I figured. The other account has no history at all, no. Very, 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 very little. Like, minutes. Maybe an hour or two. But it didn't get a notification anyways. The one I'm using now, though, had tons of GT6 history and a decent amount of GT5. Go ahead and warm up real quick. Ooh, broke a little late there, but still managed to make it. I gotta pause this for a second. I feel something getting Sorry about that. Something is funky with my gas pedal. I'm gonna have to. This is the last race, so after this race, I'm gonna end the stream. It feels like something keeps getting. There's like a lump in it. It's weird. I'll fix it later on. I do so much work on sim racing hardware. It's become pretty easy to fix pretty much anything. That's actually what got me into sim racing. Was I had been into Gran Turismo and racing games on the console since I was a little kid, all the way back, you know, to Nintendo 64 and Cruisin' USA, but which was my first racing game that I really loved and beat. Then I, of course, got into Gran Turismo and whatnot, but what really got me into not just racing with the D-pad on console, but racing with a full setup was just my passion for sim racing hardware. I still love the hardware to this day. So I tend to kind of collect hardware, modify it, take it apart, work on it, post my projects online if they're interesting enough. Alright, getting bumped all over the place here. I don't want to get spun out this time. Do not spin me out, anybody. Much appreciated. I got cars close, too. Alright. Just gotta focus just a little bit here. Got a BMW behind me, and this is either a Jag or an Alfa Romeo in front of me. Or Aston Martin, excuse me. I'm not sure which one it is. BMW is about to pass me, I think, but I don't want him coming inside before this corner here. Because that corner is hard to take too wide. Man, this car might benefit from a little bit less dampening just to let it glide over those curbs a bit better. I decided not to do that before because I didn't want to sacrifice any of the stability in the corners. Sorry, dude, didn't mean to come outside into you there. My mistake. But now that I see how much this thing is really bouncing off the curbs and how much it would benefit. Yeah, you can add me on PSN. You see my name there, SC Audi 7187. It's basically SC Audi like the car. Really? 7187. That BMW nicked me. I knew he was going to do something like that. Just when I saw him prowling behind me earlier in the race, I just knew it. A couple of people went off there, not quite sure what happened, but a little bit of craziness back there. At least this race is going a little bit better for me than the last race did. Man, am I thankful that car didn't get solid right before I hit it. That's one thing I absolutely hate. When you're coming up on a car, you can't stop, it's ghosted out, it goes solid right before you hit it. Don't fishtail too much there. Alright, we're about to be about halfway done with the race. Made it through that corner decently. Actually gained a little ground, that's good. Maybe I could catch up with the third place guy here. The one who rammed into me before. For no reason. Wasn't like he was out of control, he just wanted to be a jerk. I'm gonna give him one more chance. Hopefully he doesn't slam into me again. And I will check your comments out when I get a chance here, probably when the race is over. Looking over now, what I don't like that brake warning flashing in my face. I don't like, let's see, what else don't I like particularly about the game? I don't like that you can't adjust tire pressure and that there isn't a really usable tire temperature gauge. I don't like the fact that pit stops are automated, meaning you can't drive yourself in the pits. The vehicle has to drive for you. As far as the beta goes, which this is only a beta problem, I don't like that the racers are so short so that pretty much anybody can just jump in and be dirty as can be, and it doesn't matter because it's just a 4-lap race. I don't like that. I would like longer races. Oh, that was my fault. That was my fault. Entirely. I went too far inside. I was afraid he was going to come up behind me, and I screwed up. But that's okay. Catching up with him again. So there's a few things I don't like about it. The force feedback, while very good, isn't perfect. No, buddy, you're not pushing me. Sorry. I'll push you right back. What's up, dude? What's up, brah? How you doing? Yeah, you're gonna come inside, and so am I. Final lap here. I'm gonna catch up with this guy, I gotta do it on this lap. Catching up with him isn't the problem. Oh, buddy, you stopped hard. I could not stop that hard. I wonder if he did that on purpose. He just like jammed on his brake way early, came almost to a stop. It did not seem necessary at all. I got pressure from behind too, so I may not be able to hold on to this 4th place position or move up into 3rd. We shall see though. Too much fishtail there, man. Too much fishtail. Scrubbing off speed every time it fishtails. Alright, come on, Seth. You can do it. Just get around Jace Bautista. Oh, man, I screwed up bad. I screwed up bad on the last lap. Oh, entirely my fault. That sucks. Oh well. What are you gonna do? It happens, right? So, let's see here. But yeah, those are some of the things I don't like about the game so far. While the force feedback is excellent, in some cars, there's still a bit of left-right kind of rocking, you know, that'll kind of make the wheel oscillate, where if you're dead center, it'll just kick back and forth. I don't really like that. Yes, bumper-to-bumper racing is much smoother. Every once in a while, you get a car floating all over the place, but not so bad anymore. Rubber banding has been hard for me to judge because it's difficult to know in online races because you have human error to account for. However, in the arcade races that I had access to at the very beginning, I did notice a little bit of rubber banding. However, it usually seemed to happen like I would get way ahead of the AI, like on the first lap, I'd be in first place and pulling away. But before the end of the race, the game would recognize that and would pick up the pace on the artificial intelligence, which actually would give a more competitive arcade race, you know, or offline race, which was nice. Yeah, that was a close one, though. The mirrors is what drives me absolutely nuts. That is my biggest gripe with the game so far. Thank you for bringing that up. There is some cars you cannot see the mirrors at all. You can't adjust your seating position or your field of view. You can't activate a virtual mirror in cockpit mode, and there's no rear-facing camera in some of these cars. So some cars you have no clue what's going on behind you. You have to keep looking behind you. That drives me nuts. Ghosting drives me nuts. While sometimes it helps me, many times it hurts me. I'd rather do away with it completely and just adjust my driving accordingly. Yeah, field of view adjustment would be wonderful, but I think that's something that would be really hard to implement because as you adjust field of view, it affects your graphical usage. So adjusting field of view too far in one or the other direction could actually make it make the game more demanding graphically to run. So for purposes of keeping for you know, optimization and smooth gameplay, that's probably why they left that out. I would also love to see a virtual mirror, like be able to, because even in the cars where you can't see the mirrors are still there projecting an image. They're still using up your graphical power. So I would like to see an option where you could blank out the stock rear view mirrors, since you can't see them anyways, just make them black, and take that graphical power and dedicate it to a virtual mirror like they do in iRacing. That's what I would like to see. Yeah, for esports it would be, you know, a necessity. You have to see what's going on behind you from cockpit mode. A lot of the videos of streamers that I watch, they drive from hood view or chase view, which is just cringeworthy. But I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're playing on a DS4, you know, you're just a casual gamer, that's perfectly fine. But I've seen, not only in Gran Turismo, but other games, guys with full racing rigs playing in chase camera. It's like, come on, man. You gotta get with the times. But, yeah, I learned how to drive in hood cam, and once I got really comfortable with hood cam, then I moved up and started always driving in cockpit, and now I can't stand driving in anything other than cockpit. It is easier in hood cam, you see everything that's going on around you, but I just hate it. It's so unrealistic. Yeah, chase with the wheel is an absolute no-go. Cockpit all the way for me too. But I don't know what's going on here. Looks like I got stuck at this page again, which has happened before in streams, but that's okay because that was the last race, and I am going to end the stream anyways and relax for a little bit, watch some TV. But I will be back, should be back tomorrow, depending on what the weather is. I might be going to the Harley dealership in town because they're doing like one of their open day things or whatever, where basically you can go and some corporate Harley guys there come there with a big truck and every single 2017 Harley Davidson model, and as long as you have your motorcycle license, a helmet and whatnot, you can test drive any motorcycle you want. You can even test drive them all the whole 2017 lineup. So I'm supposed to go there tomorrow if the weather's good, and I don't know what time I'll leave or what time, you know, what condition I'll be in after, if I'll be tired or whatever. But I will try and get at least one series streamed tomorrow. Can't promise 100%, but I should be able to. I usually am able to make the time. So yeah, you use hood and cockpit too. Yeah, even on a DS4, I still use cockpit cam. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I had a motorcycle, and in September, some lady freaking hit me and totaled my bike, messed my leg up and whatnot. And I've always liked Harley Davidson, so I figured why not kind of check out a few firsthand and maybe ride them and see like what kind is best for me, what style, if I want a bagger or something more stripped. But the video has just ended. It was a longer video, and for some reason my PS4 has shown this blank screen, but it's actually the stream has just ended now, so that's why it's a blank screen. But alright man, peace to you too, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.